A poor dinosaur almost becomes the dinner of another species, but his determination takes him to a new path. Far away in a valley, a small Tarbosaurus family lives. Junior, the youngest of the family, is still learning hunting. He's chasing his prey when he stumbles and falls to the ground. His father, Speckles, comes to his rescue just immediately. After defeating the enemy, he gives Junior a stern lecture, calling him the family's shame. He's being strict because Speckles has big dreams of training his only son to be the future king of their tribe. One day, they spot a group of Protoceratops drinking by a river. Speckles goes after the hunt, while Junior gets into position to surround their prey. But when the Protoceratops approach, Junior falls in the water in fear. The young dinosaur cries out for help. As Speckles rushes to the rescue, he realizes that the river is quite shallow, and all Junior needs to do is stand up to be safe. Disappointed, Speckles leaves, and Junior hides inside a tree trunk. He feels deep shame, believing he can't meet his father's expectations. His thoughts wander to the day he lost his mother. When he was a kid, he and his mother went for a swim, but the ocean's tide carried him away. His mother selflessly saved him, but she couldn't save herself. Every day, Junior misses her, and Speckles misses her even more, struggling to raise their son alone. Later that day, Speckles finds Junior, and together they witness a meteor crash to Earth. Junior is terrified by the explosion, but his father reassures him, saying they'll need to find a new home soon. The next morning, Junior wakes up with determination to make his father proud. He spots his prey, a Pachycephalosaurus, drinking water and decides to make his move. Junior attacks, but the prey bolts away. Just then, a group of raptors emerges and captures Junior. He screams for his father, and Speckles rushes to his rescue. He does his best to catch up, but the raptors attack him and he tumbles into a river. The need to save his son wakes him up. Unfortunately, when he reaches the riverbank, the raptors have already vanished with Junior, and the rain washes away the footprints. When Junior awakes, he finds himself in an unfamiliar place, encircled by caves. Junior can't hide his fear as dozens of cubs from various species surround him. Slash, one of the raptors, menaces the young Tarbosaurus with its claws, but Blue intervenes to protect Junior. She defends him, driving away the threatening therizinosaurus. Blade joins in, urging them to stop fighting. Just then, the raptors appear, scattering the dinosaurs. Blue urges Junior to find a hiding spot, but all the young ones end up surrounded. Only Blade and Slash manage to slip away into hiding. They select a few infants to be taken for a sinister dinner and command them to follow. Once the raptors depart, Blue reveals that none of the taken ones ever return. Meanwhile, Speckles treks through the desert in his relentless search for his son. Thirst takes over, and he collapses. Suddenly, Sai appears, an ankylosaurus with limited eyesight but an extraordinary sense of smell. Sai initially sees Speckles as an enemy and rushes to attack but stumbles on the ground. Speckles inquires about Sai's attack, and Sai reveals that his best friend, Daisy, was kidnapped by raptors. Speckles recognizes they're talking about the same group of raptors that took his son, and he asks for Sai's assistance in tracking them down. This way, the ankylosaurus can avenge his friend. Junior, who's managed to survive in this harsh environment, seeks refuge in a cave, but no one wants to welcome the newcomer. He stumbles upon a filthy cave with a Triceratops named Dusty. When Blue approaches, she questions what Junior is doing near the pile of waste. The young dinosaur explains that he's waiting for his father to come and find him. Meanwhile, on their way to the Mountain of Fire, Speckles and Sai enter an abyss. Unexpectedly, a giant scorpion strikes Sai. Fortunately, his spiky armor protects him. Across the abyss, Speckles hears Sai's cries for help and rushes back to save his mate. After vanquishing one of the scorpions, they flee through the valley but find themselves surrounded. Speckles sustains a sting on his leg, and though wounded, he relentlessly pursues the scorpion. With its powerful teeth, Speckles manages to defeat the creature. When they finally escape, Speckles falls to the ground due to his injured leg. He can barely walk, and the poison begins to spread through his body. Sai urges him to rest, but Speckles is convinced it will only slow them down. They press on without food or water until Speckles finally collapses. The sand beneath them begins to sink, and they tumble into a pit in the earth. Sai regains consciousness as he detects a presence approaching. The creature lunges at him, but Speckles steps up to defend his mate. During the battle, Speckles gets knocked down, and Fang intervenes, asking why Speckles was attacked. She uses healing herbs to counter the poison. Fang originally planned to have Sai for dinner, but upon learning he's Speckles' friend, she lets him be. Fang is searching for her daughter, who was taken by raptors 2 weeks ago. In the prison, the raptors distribute food to the dinosaurs to ensure they stay healthy till the time for them to be eaten. Dusty gets her food stolen by a pterosaur that visits daily, so she returns to her cave hungry. Junior appears with food for her, and they share a meal. Afterward, Blue joins them and they feast together. Blue takes the opportunity to teach her new friends to use their tails to throw stones and fend off enemies. Dusty makes her first attempt, but it's unsuccessful. When Junior tries, he accidentally hits a large rock and injures his tail. Out of nowhere, a raptor appears and commands Dusty to follow. Blue tries to intervene, but Blade restrains her. That night, Junior dreams of the day he was drowning and calling out for his mother. However, in this dream, he sees Dusty crying out for help from her friend. When Sunga shows up to steal food, Junior captures him and offers all his food in exchange for information. The animal reveals that behind some rocks, there's a fire mountain, and within it, a monstrous beast has awakened. Right now, the creature is trapped, but as the fire grows stronger, so does the beast. The raptors serve as mere couriers, feeding the monster's 3 offspring. This revelation fills Junior with guilt for not rescuing his friend, and he joins the others in concocting an escape plan. Slash, however, is afraid to confront the raptors and threatens to attack Junior, who he deems a coward. Thankfully, Blade steps in to prevent Slash's aggression and orders him to leave Junior alone. After trudging through the desert for hours, the trio finally stumbles upon a lake where they can rejuvenate. While drinking water, they witness a family of Brachiosaurus under attack by a gang of Carnotaurus who are stealing their eggs. Moved by the mother's desperate pleas, Fang decides to step in and battles the predators. After securing one of the eggs, Speckles returns it to the grateful mother. The Carnotaurus soon regroup and overpower Fang, but Speckles arrives in the nick of time to rescue his friend and drive the attackers away. Sai joins the fray, using his powerful tail to knock out the Carnotaurus. Realizing they're outnumbered, the Carnotaurus opt to retreat, and the trio witnesses the birth of a Brachiosaurus baby. They continue their journey, with Junior devising an escape plan. He observes that there are typically 3 guards blocking the exit, and Blade offers what he deems a foolproof strategy. That night, they wait for a signal from Sunga, who, after receiving his payment, informs them that one of the guards is asleep. Junior attracts the attention of the second guard in his pursuit. Before his friend is captured, Blue hits a rock on the raptor's head, causing it to faint. Blade then fires his second shot, and Junior serves as bait to lure the last guard. This time, Blue misses her shot, and her friend is almost caught. But Blade scales the mountains quickly and takes down the raptor. Shortly afterward, Blue catches up, and the 3 of them manage to escape from the prison together. They never expected, though, that 3 more guards would be waiting outside. Slash, having betrayed them by revealing their entire escape plan to the raptors, forces the infants to continue their attempts to escape, even though they are surrounded. As they run, they encounter a dead end with lava, and the raptors close in. Despite the danger, Junior refuses to divulge his friend's location. They're then taken to a dungeon and slated for dinner. The next morning, Sai's keen sense of smell leads them close to the raptors' hideout. They hear the cries of a pterosaur being punished for assisting the young ones in their escape. Sai acts as bait to draw the raptors in, and Sunga exploits the opportunity to escape. The predators chase the Ankylosaurus and encircle him, but just when they least expect it, the Tarbosaurus arrives and captures a raptor. After interrogating him, Speckles learns the location of the prison and allows Sai to decide the raptor's fate. In the end, the Ankylosaurus finally avenges his friend Daisy, using his tail to push the raptor over the cliff. While descending the canyon, tremors caused by the volcano escalate. They try to dodge falling stones, but their path becomes obstructed. Fang and Speckles attempt to clear the rocks, but they refuse to budge. Unexpectedly, a group of Brachiosaurus approaches and, in gratitude for the trio's help, uses their enormous paws to break apart the rocks, opening a path. Now, the big challenge ahead is dealing with a bunch of raptors waiting on the other side. The Tarbosaurus uses its sharp teeth to grab the raptors and throw them away. Meanwhile, Sai fights off the raptors with his tail. Once they notice that the way out is clear of guards, Blade hurries to the prison to warn others and then goes to save his friends. The young dinosaurs rush to escape, but an earthquake splits the rocks, leaving some behind. Fang and Speckles call out for their son, who's going a different way. They plan to escape across the river and find Dusty in a cave. Unfortunately, Slash catches up with them. Blade tells his friends to keep moving and promises to catch up. Little did he know that Slash brought along 2 raptors. Blade does manage to knock out one raptor clinging to Slash's tail. This causes them both to fall into a pool of lava, and Slash clings onto a rock with his claws. Now there's just one raptor left. It manages to trap Blade and plans to eat him. Blue and Junior return to help their friend. They attack the raptor and manage to knock it down. However, the raptor holds onto its partner's tail. Slash can't hold the weight, and his claw breaks free from the rock, making them all fall into the lava. With the path clear, they continue toward the river. Speckles spots them amid the ashes and signals to his friends to follow. Junior hesitates due to the strong river current, but remembers his father's words about not being a coward. Despite his fear, the dinosaurs jump into the water and swim under a rock to reach the cave. Blue runs out of breath underwater and struggles to swim, so Junior helps her. Working together, they reach their destination and head toward the light. Suddenly, they come across dinosaur skeletons and hear a creature approaching. The youngsters feel relieved to find Dusty, who's been hiding and surviving. 3 large monsters show up, and Dusty tells them these are the mutant babies. The giant tadpoles start chasing the young ones, but their parents arrive just in time to save them. Blue is overjoyed to see her mother, and Speckles watches Junior running from a monster. Tarbosaurus confronts the creature and gives his son a talking to, encouraging him to stand up to these monsters instead of running. In response, Junior leaves as he can't bear to be called a coward by his father. Blue approaches Speckles, explaining that Junior went to rescue Dusty, proving he's not a coward. Just then, a giant monster approaches and starts chasing the small group. Sai was left behind, but soon joins his friends and must escape with them to avoid the beast. They hide in a crack, and Speckles wants to leave to search for his son. Fang and Sai try to stop him, and Dusty sees the monster leaving. Speckles takes the chance to come out of hiding and sees Junior trying to distract the creature so that his father and friends can escape. Tarbosaurus rushes to help him, and Fang follows. Sai's job is to get the young ones to safety, but they decide to help their friend. Speckles and Fang fight the creature, and Junior needs to get away from the monsters. Blue and Blade show up to rescue him and fight the baby monsters by throwing rocks. Seeing their parents in danger, the trio works together to draw the mutants' attention and is chased. An earthquake causes the mountain to crumble, and the monster gets buried under rocks. In the final attack, the beast throws Junior aside, and he falls to the ground after colliding with a rock. Seeing his unconscious son, Speckles panics. He tries to wake him up and starts thinking his son might be dead. Tarbosaurus apologizes for being too hard on his son and begs him to wake up. Meanwhile, the lava from the volcano is getting closer, and there's no way out. Junior's friends gather around him, trying to wake him up. Dusty finally notices he's still breathing. When Junior wakes up, his father praises him for being brave and tells him he's very proud. Everyone is ready to escape, but they discover the exit is blocked by rocks. To make things worse, the monstrous creature rises, covered in lava. Seeing it coming, Speckles has an idea and tells everyone to stay away. He uses himself as bait to lure the mutant and jumps away just in time before it tries to eat him. This creates an opening in the stone wall, a path for their escape. A while later, far from the volcano, they all breathe a sigh of relief, having survived. Sai says goodbye to his friends and goes back to his kind. Speckles thanks him for his help and says he couldn't have found his son without him. Finally, the young dinosaurs are free again and run around exploring their new home. Loved this recap? Don't miss the next one. Subscribe, like, and comment which movie we should dive into next. Your pick could be our next spotlight. And turn on the notifications so you stay alerted of our next post.